All right, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I have my coffee, my nose is clear and working, and I'm here to bring you a very important update on Cardano ADA. Lots of interesting stuff going on in this picture. I'm going to discuss what I think is happening with Cardano ADA. We are in an inflection point. We are in make it or break it territory because we're right within the middle of all this price action. We have a bunch of lines here, but don't you worry. We're going to break it down, simplify things, and basically explain what the most important takeaways are with Cardano. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the market as a whole and kind of touch upon Bitcoin. So if you like the sound of that, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads, because we have brought in a technical analysis expert all the way from France, and he's quite expensive. So make sure you help us out by like, subscribing, comment, sharing, and all that good stuff. Folks, without further ado, let's delve into this. Now, look, I know there's a lot of lines, but we're going to simplify what's going on here. Cardano here is in a wedge pattern here. You can draw this wedge several different ways based off, these different peaks here. Whatever way you draw this or slice this, we're in a wedge / macro descending triangle. I think probably a wedge, something like this, is a little bit more valid here. Whatever way you call this pattern, we're pretty much in the middle of this range, from about $1 to about like $1.50, $1.40ish. We're in this middle of this range. We have the VPVR point of control right below us, acting as support at about $1.21. So it's very good that we're above all that volume, because that volume really can act as support and resistance. And I love looking at the VPVR point of control because it can help demonstrate hidden support and resistance levels that you might not have anticipated. That's why I love using the VPVR. Now, I think we could also draw a Fibonacci retracement from this bottom to this top. We can see that we've been reacting pretty well off this range. So we're basically stuck between these two fib levels here. Okay, this one, the 618 acting as support, the 0.5 acting as resistance. We're also getting above a few key support levels, the 21 EMA on the 4-hour and the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. Yes, this is a 6-hour chart we're looking at, but these EMAs are locked to the 4-hour. Don't you worry, ladies and genitals. This EMA right here is the 200 EMA on the 10-hour. Yes, 200 EMA on the 10-hour. That is where we found a support. So these are three of the most valid EMAs in my opinion. The 21 EMA on the 4-hour is very good for calling short-term price action. The 200 EMA on the 4-hour is very good for understanding kind of more longer-term support. We can see here how 3 times it's acted as support. And the 200 EMA on the 10-hour, we can see how here acted as support. These are 3 very important levels. We're above all of them. They are all acting as support. We are above the VPVR point of control. We are above this sideways price action. So Cardano is actually looking good, but we're still within this wedge pattern here. We still need to see what way we definitively break out of this wedge. Cardano is very precarious. We broke out bullshit. We broke down. It was a bear trap. It was a bull trap. What is happening with Cardano? One thing we can follow to try and gauge when Cardano will break out bullishly or bearishly is the Cardano Bitcoin pairing. If we can get above, if we can flip this level here, kind of 2295 from resistance into support and hold it and not drop below it, I think that will be one key factor that helps Cardano not only break out, but hold above and continue to break out bullishly. One very key resistance level that we need to break above, if we do break above bullishly here, is this $1.34 level. We have a fib level right there. It's pretty price reactive. So if we can get above that and hold above that, I think we could see bullish continuation with Cardano. Now let's also talk about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin leads the rest of the market. It affects the rest of the market. We have dropped below a very key support level, that very key support level being the 50 simple moving average on the daily. And yes, we're looking at a 1-hour chart, but don't you worry, ladies and genitals, because this daily 50 SMA is locked to the 1-hour chart until Bitcoin breaks above it. Bitcoin is likely to continue bleeding. We're within this wedge. We need to see what way we break out of this wedge to understand kind of the future momentum for Bitcoin. We have a few more days max before we break out of this thing. Yeah, 5 days max before we break out of this thing. We're likely to see a breakout within the next 2 or 3 days here, in my opinion. I'm very concerned. We're constantly getting daily candles close below the 50 SMA. Very, very concerning. Now, This is kind of like a double-edged sword because Bitcoin dominance is kind of just messing around in these regions, but Bitcoin dominance is falling, which is very good for altcoins. For those who don't know, Bitcoin dominance is the total value of Bitcoin in comparison to the total value of all cryptocurrency. Whenever it rises, alts suffer. Whenever it falls, alts benefit. We have been falling nearly every day. We're making new lows with Bitcoin dominance here, and I think we could probably find support at around 50%, 51.7%, 0.5% here with Bitcoin dominance, because if we draw a Fibonacci retracement from the top to the bottom, we have the 236 right here, and it is a historically dominance reactive zone. So we're likely to find Bitcoin dominance is likely to find support here at 50%. If we fall below it, oof, folks, alts are flying. Alts are absolutely flying. And in terms of the approach I'm taking when it comes to taking profits on my alts, I believe there's several charts you can look at and several things you need to follow to understand when to sell out of your long-term positions. One of the most important things is staying tuned with this channel. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads, because all we do is look at charts all day, and all we do is look at on-chain metrics all day, and all we do is let you guys know the most important things going on with the market all day, every day. So folks, stay tuned. We're going to let you know when we think it's time to get out. I don't think it's time to get out. I think by the end of this bull run, Bitcoin dominance is going to fall to these levels here. Once we fall around these levels, does it make sense to take some profit on some positions? I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are not financial advice, but I will be once we reach these regions. I'll probably take a little bit of profit. I'm selling based off time frames and some other things as well. Although this time around, I'd wager that it's even possible that Bitcoin dominance could fall lower than the previous cycle for a few reasons, which is one of the biggest reasons why I think Bitcoin dominance will fall even lower than the previous cycle is because there's a lot more altcoins this time around. I forget what the number was on CoinGecko, but I think there's like several thousand. I'm not sure if we're in the tens of thousands of coins yet, but we have a shit ton of coins out there, folks, and excuse me, plenty more than we had last cycle. So just due to the fact that we have a lot more coins out there than the previous cycle, and altcoins are a lot more developed in their functionality and their use case, I'd wager that based off those two things, that Bitcoin dominance is likely to fall lower than the previous alt season when there were less altcoins and they were less developed and had less use case. So but whenever we go near these regions around 35-36%, taking some profit on altcoins, I do think makes some sense. So that is my plan for taking profits on my altcoins such as Cardano. I'm selling based off time frames and indicators and charts such as this. Late September, early October is when I think the Bitcoin cycle will end, or at least when I think it has a very good chance of ending. And so around that time, late third quarter, early fourth quarter is when I'll be heavily taking profits on my altcoin positions and my long-term positions. And whenever we happen to enter these regions with Bitcoin dominance. So folks, if we break out of this key range here from these two fib levels, we're definitely going to be talking about it on this channel. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Become a VIP Discord member, folks. If you want to gain further access to ourselves, talk to us about whatever TA and coins you're looking at. If you want to gain access to the low cap gems that we're looking at, setups and resources, very helpful resources, join our VIP Discord. Again, you get access through our Patreon. All right, I'm trying to think if I've forgotten about anything. Oh, I would just add this. That let's say we do definitively break out bullishly from this wedge here. Could we reach, depending what way we break out? See, I don't like this because it's not very clean. I think what we can do here to try and gain a price target, what might be helpful for you guys, is maybe just show you guys how I could go about getting certain price targets. So something we can do here is bust out the Fibonacci retracement. So I don't like how close this bottom is to this one. And drawing Fibonacci retracements can be a little subjective, if I'm being honest with you guys. But let's say we take the conservative case and say this is a descending triangle. And if we move this to the breakout point, let's see if any fib levels line up here. And again, these Fibonacci extensions can be a little subjective, but I'm just trying to see if we can find a confluence of reasons with our different indicators. So perhaps not. I think what does make some sense here, that if we can break out bullishly above these fib levels and get above these red resistance trend lines, I think at the very least, retesting these highs here, maybe $1.60 to about $1.50, makes a lot of sense. So let me say that again. If we can get above these red trend lines and hold above them and not break down, I think retesting these highs does make a lot of sense. I want to see more of a clear price structure form for me to be more confident in a Fibonacci extension. I mean, we could probably zoom out and draw a Fibonacci extension that makes sense somewhere here, but I'm not going to do that right now. I don't want to drag on this video. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap it up here. Bullish breakout could take us to all-time highs. Over the long term, I think Cardano could probably reach $5, $10. I don't know that for sure. I'm kind of selling based off time frames and in certain on-chart, on-chain metrics, although this is not an on-chain metric. This is Bitcoin dominance. And again, what's happening with Bitcoin is concerning. The 50 SMA is a very critical level. We'll let you guys know if anything interesting happens with any of these coins. Without further ado, I'm going to wrap it up here. Until next time, take care.